what's it called?
We'll change it later.
That hurts.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OTP. By now, you know the drill. That's Ashley. That's Amy. I'm Evan. Let's prowl.
So it is official. Clemson University, we defeated USC in soccer 2-1.
Woo!
And basketball this spring 62-60.
Woo!
So baseball team. The baseball won 2-1, and we really don't even have to talk about the football score because we all know that.
Yeah.
56-7, in case you forgot.
A huge congratulations to our baseball team for defeating the Gamecocks on Saturday and Sunday. We started out in a rough patch Friday night at Raymond James Stadium.
It's not Raymond James Stadium.
Doug
Kingsmore, Ashley. We've been over this.
Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Did that as a joke. See if y'all are listening.
I caught on to it. Good save.
When number 4 USC defeated the Tigers 2-0. However, the 3-game series continued in Greenville on Saturday afternoon for the second game. Patrick Cromwell held in the 9th inning and broke a 5-5 tie and propelled number 12 Clemson to an 8-7 win over number 4 record crowd of 7,460 fans at Fluor Field on Saturday afternoon. The Tigers, who even the series, while the Gamecocks dropped to 7-4. On Sunday, Logan Davidson scored on a wild pitch in the 11th inning to lift number 12 Clemson to a 5-3 win over number 4 South Carolina at Founders Park on Sunday afternoon. The Tigers, who won the series 2-1, improved 8-3, while the Gamecocks dropped to 7-5. It was also Clemson's 10th win in a row away from home, and it's the longest streak since winning 11 games in a row away since 1995.
Wow. Pretty impressive.
The Tigers moved into the top 10 at number 9 in this week's Baseball America. Clemson is also number 11 in the USA Today Coaches Poll and number 15 in the Collegiate Baseball Poll. The Tigers will play Michigan Series against Notre Dame on Friday at 6:30 in Doug's Kingsmore Stadium.
There it is. All right, so shifting gears a little bit, we're going to go to our women's diving team who had a meet this past Saturday. It was the NCAA Zone B Championship. What that means is the Zone B championships include the top collegiate divers from 6 states in the Southeast: Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And so what that means is if any of our girls finished in the top 9 in the finals of the Zone B championships, and they would go on to the National Diving Championships. Unfortunately, none of our divers did do that, but we did have some pretty good performances. Senior Sarah Braun led the way. She was competing in her final NCAA Zone B championship. She did advance to the final team out of, I think it was 39 divers, so not bad there for Sarah. She did the best out of any of our lady divers on Saturday. Fun. Looking forward to next year for the lady diving team.
The Clemson men's basketball team came out on top last Wednesday, beating the Wolfpack 78-74. A last-second three-pointer by NC State went, "You got it," a wide right. Jerron Blossomgame hit a clutch three-pointer that gave the Tigers a 75-72 lead with a minute and a half to play. Just a few seconds later, he made 3 foul shots to solidify the win. Blossomgame finished the contest with 16 points, pushing him over the 500-point mark for the second straight season. Shelton Mitchell started out hot for the Tigers in timeout. Sidi Jite recorded 12 points and 9 rebounds for the Tigers. Saturday was senior day at Little John, the Eagles of Boston College in the final matchup of the regular season. The Tigers defeated BC 82-68 with the help of contributing 17 points. The Tigers shot 15 for 24 in the first half, their highest percentage in any half this season. Holmes made 3 from behind the arc to send the Tigers into halftime with momentum. Holmes continued to play well, sinking 5 three-pointers and grabbing 10 rebounds in the game. The Tigers played NC State again today, but this time in the first round of the ACC tournament. The 12th-ranked Clemson Tigers beat 13th-ranked NC State in Brooklyn, New York, 75-61. The Tigers focused on their inside game and frequently hit their post players. A great block by Holmes to the halftime buzzer to send Clemson into the locker room with confidence. Clemson enjoyed several easy dunks early in the performance than usual. The play-by-play commentator for the contest said, "Awesome game had an awesome game." The senior and sophomore Shelton Mitchell also scored 22 points each to lead their team to the next round. The Tigers will face 5th-ranked Duke tomorrow at 2 p.m. on ESPN.
A little bit of good news there on the basketball court for our men's team. A little bad news on the tennis court for our men's team. They played number 12th ranked Georgia Tech this past Friday at 4 o'clock. They lost by a touchdown, 7-0. Nobody on our tennis team, be it singles or doubles, could score a point in the match. That match, they improved to 8-2 overall, 1-0 in ACC play. Our men's tennis team is 8-5, now 1-1 in ACC. And this Friday, March the 10th at 5 o'clock against South Carolina for another point in the Palmetto Series in Columbia.
The spot for quarterback on our football team seems to be wide open. Of course, we had Kelly Bryant being QB1 during the first few practices, and we still have to be on the lookout for freshman quarterbacks Hunter Johnson, who is actually already enrolled here, and Chase Bryce, who will be getting here this summer. However, Zarek Cooper is also still in the running and was said to have looked exactly like what the coaches expected. Of course, they also expected that he is a freshman, but they said that he had very good accuracy and can put the ball wherever he wants, whether it's a line drive or a pass that requires touch. After almost 2 whole months since the Tigers defeated Alabama for the national championship in Raymond James Stadium,
That's the right stadium this time.
13 signs have been placed across the state. Place where
Welcome Center.
Thank you, or on the highway.
Ashley has a tough time with words.
So Coach Dabo Sweeney and some of the national championship team actually traveled to South Carolina at the State House in Columbia last week for the sign revealing. So be sure to be on the lookout for these signs when traveling down some of the highways, US 76, 93, and 123. So also, Deshaun Watson really set himself apart in an intense workout at the NFL Combine on Saturday. Andy Reid told USA Today Sports that Watson was unbelievable and that he had a great day and every throw was on the money. So this is actually great news for Clemson fans. Watson was actually in a group that included North Carolina's quarterback, whom some consider to be the highest rated quarterback in the draft, which they said that Deshaun was clearly in the zone during the. This was essential to his objective for the Combine, where Watson came hoping to make a statement that he would be selected as the #1 quarterback in the NFL draft.
Fingers crossed.
The women's ACC tournament started Wednesday at Coastal Carolina. The Tigers took on the Hokies of Virginia Tech and won 67-66. Danielle Edwards finished with a team high of 17 points. She drove to the basket with 3 seconds on the clock, got fouled, made the layup, and the extra point, but the Tigers up by 1. 3 other Clemson players scored in double figures to propel the Tigers into the second round of the tournament. This season, Thursday against 14th-ranked Louisville, falling to the Cardinals 68-46. The Tigers started the game slow and couldn't contend with a final record of 15-16. Now that's 11 more overall wins than a season ago.
Wow.
The team also won 3 Atlantic Coast Conference regular season games after going winless last year. So congrats to them on the growth.
So some pretty good news there on the women's basketball court and some more bad news on the women's tennis court. I didn't mention this earlier because I didn't want to hit you with too much bad news in tennis all at one time. But the women's tennis team was actually really busy this past week. They played number 6 ranked UNC in Chapel Hill this past Friday. They lost 6-1. The lone bright spot being sophomore Ian Broomfield. She upset the nation's number 4 ranked singles player in straight sets. So that's highest ranked singles upset for a Clemson women's tennis player since March of 2015 when Romy Colzer upset. Her name was Julia Baba. She was at Virginia. So pretty cool accomplishment there amidst the loss there for the Lady Tigers. 5 ranked opponent of the weekend on Sunday. They hosted Georgia Tech at 12 p.m. at Hoke Sloan. They lost 5-2. That dropped our Lady tennis team to 3-7 overall, 0-3 in ACC. The Yellow Jackets are now 12-2 and 3-0 in ACC. So the lone bright spot in that loss was Clemson won the doubles point after a hard-fought 6-4 win by Broomfield and Marie-Alexandre Leduc over the 7th-ranked doubles team in the country. They won in straight sets after trailing in the match 4-3. So some pretty good tennis being played by our women's team, just not quite enough to get the team point. I'll leave you with some good news before we start. Our men's golf team is on fire right now. They just won, let's see, as Tim Beret said, they just won the Palmetto in Aiken, South Carolina, as a team, beating Virginia by a stroke. They came in first out of 18, and that is their 3rd straight win as a team in a tournament. That's the first time that has ever happened in Clemson men's golf history, according to
impressive.
Tim Beret, our sports information director, aka Clemson Google. So I trust him. He knows what he's talking about. So our men's golf team, definitely some good stuff out there on the course. So that kind of wraps up our content informational-wise this week. We're going to move on to kind of a new segment that we started. We're playing some games. This week we're going to play what we call the Emoji game. It's a game that I just now made up, and I realized that my questions are on my laptop, so I didn't need to close that after all. But basically what's going to happen is we have a topic. We have 6 topics, and we're going to draw an emoji to represent our feelings or opinion on that topic. So the first topic being how we did at the NFL Combine. So we had 9 players at the Combine. I'm just going to talk to Stahl while they draw emojis, and then I'll come up with an emoji in a minute. We had 9 players at the Combine: Deshaun Watson, Wayne Gallman, Mike Williams, Jordan Leggett. I'm going to name them all. Watch: Ben Boulware, Carlos Watkins, Jadar Johnson. I forgot him the other day
Set
too.
the bar too high.
I did set the bar too high. There's 2 other ones that Cordray Tankersley, and there's one more, Artavis Scott. Told you I'd get them all.
Isn't Artavis there?
He is. Told you I'd get them all. So just an emoji to represent how all 9 of those guys did at the NFL Combine. So whoever wants to go.
I'm beating heart because I've been watching them. I haven't been a Clemson student for very long, but I've been watching these, proud of them, kind of like, not like they're my own teammates almost, like proud of them for what they're doing. So they're doing so well.
So the emoji I used was a super smiley face, and basically, like I said before, Deshaun is looking excellent at the NFL Combine. He did these drills for an hour with the wide receivers, and like I said before, Andy Pruitt said he was right on the money with every single pass he threw. Also, I don't know if y'all saw the other day, Tankersley actually ran a 4.440.
That's fast.
That's flying.
That's really fast.
I actually watched the video over and over again because I couldn't get over how somebody's body could just move that fast. When I ran cross country, seeing somebody watch a 40-yard dash, 40 meter.
40 yard.
Yeah, 40-yard dash. Actually insane.
Really
so
fast. I'm going to go with the emoji that just has the one little teardrop falling out of the eye, because obviously we hate to see them go. Big part of the Clemson family, probably the most successful Clemson football players that we've ever seen. So it is sad to see them go, but it's also a happy tear because they did really well. Looking forward to their NFL careers. They look like they hold some promise at the next level. So be sure to keep track of them, even though they won't be here anymore. So that was question 1. I don't know if either of y'all want to introduce question 2. You can read off my laptop.
Our next one is Baseball's Weekend versus USC. So our 3-game series versus USC.
Oh, this is going to be a bad drawing, but we're going to go with it.
Okay, I'll start because
Please do.
I see the little pink heart that has like 3 little hearts.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
Just expressing my love for the 3-game series. This is our first game at home, which was very disheartening because we all got extremely worried about the series. However, we came back and won in Greenville and at USC, which is just continuing our streak of winning away games, which is awesome
nice
for our baseball team because I was very anxious when we lost our first game because nobody wants us to lose to the Gamecocks.
Never in anything.
I have the shocked face. USC is a good baseball team.
Yeah,
They really are.
They were number
They're really
4.
Literally. Woo!
I saw something that said, "Oh, we're a football school, and we beat them in football. Oh, we're a women's basketball school or a basketball school. We beat them in basketball. No, we're a baseball school. Well, we beat you in baseball too. So whatever school you are, we're better than that."
I think with baseball, it depends on the weather. It depends on that difficult sport to judge because there's so many great players in the league, and I just feel like it just kind of depends on the day.
This is the lock with the key. We have like we mentioned earlier, winning the Palmetto Series right now, beating them in football and basketball and now baseball. The key, obviously, we're holding the key to the lock. Only we can unlock it right now because we are the top dogs of the state. So got them on lock. So kind of proud of that drawing. But
our third topic for emoji discussion is how we feel about last week's basketball wins and today.
Oh no! Oh, okay. I'm gonna cheat off your computer now. I'm gonna look at some emojis. Okay, all right, I got it. No worries. We're gonna go with it. Let's see. Let's make an accurate representation of this.
I had one and then I forgot.
All right. I'll go first. Through the sleeping emoji. These are Z's. These are Z's. This side. So that's the sleeping emoji. As well as our basketball teams did do this past week in ACC tournament play, unfortunately, I think it is a little bit too little too late. Neither one of our basketball teams is looking to make the tournament right now. I just don't put a lot of confidence in the basketball teams because right when you think we're on the brink of being good, we let you down again. So I'm just going to sleep on this past week, just hoping that the future is like this past week was, like all next year hopefully will be like this past week was. But I'm going to sleep on it for now.
I'll go. So I did the shocked face only because there's so many memes going around on Twitter right now about how Clemson always gives up those last second shots and we're always just so proud to see both men and the women's basketball team accomplish this last second shot this a couple weeks ago. We're actually really good friends with her and it was just really cool to see. Amy was telling me how she got fouled and the free throw shot to put her ahead by 1 point. So congrats to those teams.
Yeah.
Sure.
I have the heart eye face because we talked about how hard it is to lose so many games. And to see your work finally paying off, like granted these were like the bottom two teams of the ACC, so like it's not a huge deal.
A win is a win is a win.
That's true, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's paying off finally.
I'll hold out hope until they let me down again. So our next topic is it's not necessarily Clemson related. But something that we felt obligated to talk about. This past week, North Carolina rivalry, at the time of that game, Michael Jordan, who played at North Carolina, known as the best basketball player of all time, was given kind of introducing the Jordan brand to the Carolina football. That's going to be what their jerseys and all that memorabilia will be made out of now to be Jordan brand. And he made a comment that the ceiling is the roof. For the Carolina football team. Yeah, the ceiling is the roof. He did say that. So just an emoji to represent our reaction to the ceiling is the roof.
So I did the sun and the cloud because, what y'all had to explain to me earlier. When he said this, it just kind of went over my head. And
like,
I don't.
What is he even trying to say?
Exactly. Like, I just could not figure out what he was trying to say for the life of me. And finally, we realized that he was saying the sky is the limit. And the sky is the limit by saying the ceiling is the roof. So a very interesting way of putting it, but
giving him the benefit of the doubt here.
It's kind of cool.
You ready?
I can hold on. You know what? Yeah, you go ahead and go. I'm going to color this in.
I was dying laughing. It's like really.
Did you really die?
I died and came back to life.
Okay, well at least you're here. That's all that counts now.
How could he? I get you can be like nervous and say something you don't mean to say.
Right.
But like.
But I feel like he's like. He shouldn't be nervous though, because of all the people in Chapel Hill, I feel like he's like you put him up there with God. Like in terms of people's favorite being in the universe, I feel like you put Michael Jordan up there with God in Chapel Hill. So I feel like he shouldn't have been nervous, but
it's just too funny.
Happens to the best of us, I guess. So yeah, I cheated. I read this question ahead off my own laptop and stole the one emoji that I really wanted. Had to go with the Michael Jordan can accomplish on a basketball court. He did not make iconic. Or idioms here because the ceiling is not the roof. If I heard something, the roof you need a new contractor, which makes it cool. So good try at your motivational speech there, MJ, but you need some work.
So our next topic is the Cubs winning the World Series. We're actually having a debate about this right before the show started today, so this ought to be an
again not Clemson related, but something that we feel obligated to talk about.
So I'll just go ahead and go. I did hard eyes. I was actually extremely proud of the Cubs. I'm personally a Yankees fan, and I get that from my brother. But I just thought it was really cool to see a team like the Cubs to come back and win. And you have all of these people who have been Cubs fans for so long, and then you see them out, and they can finally say so.
Similar to anything since 1981, but
exactly
they had like 70 years on
yeah,
us. So. I'm going to go with the trophy. Might add, but a trophy emoji nonetheless. just because, again, first championship in 108 years has got to mean a little something. Got a really good friend who's a big Cubs fan, so I include the Cubs as my second favorite team behind the Boston Red Sox. He was actually in town visiting me, and we watched Game 7 from my apartment. And as soon as Chris Bryant threw over to Anthony Rizzo at first for that last out, he just fell on the floor and was in tears and cried for a good hour and a half. And I think that kind of encompasses the emotions of all of Chicago that night, or at least the blue side of Chicago that night. So definitely a big, significant event, and you got to like it whether you're a Cubs fan or not, just if you're a sports fan. It's
Like party, I don't know what exactly.
the
megaphone.
Yeah,
They had some serious parties in Chicago afterwards, so that's why I brought pretty much.
makes sense.
What else do we have?
The last one. Oh,
Well, we kind of already did that one.
we kind of
but-
did that. We talked about the combine. We just, I couldn't think of a better last question. But just how we think all 9 of the guys that are in the NFL draft for us will do as far as how they will do in the draft and then in their NFL careers, like after that. This is going to be a bad drawing, but
This is my 100
No.
emoji. Like I said before, I'm just
Like it.
extremely proud of all of the guys who've come from Clemson that are now representing, doing a really impressive job. And I think that they're all going to go very far in the NFL, especially Deshaun, before ran 4.4, which is incredible. And even though Ben Boulware is considered small for the NFL, I really do.
do well.
I drew this like sunglasses face because I think
good
they're
one.
gonna make a whole lot of bank and go high in draft.
Oh man,
Make
now I want
Clemson look really cool.
I want to change my emoji, but I'm not going to. I did the thumbs up emoji, pretty self-explanatory. They did really well at the combine. I think that's kind of foreshadowing for how well they're going to do in their NFL careers. I think a lot of them have a lot of potential. A lot of executives like what they see out of our boys. Just seeing what they've done at the college level, I look forward to seeing them improve that on the professional level.
Well, thanks for watching this week's show, and good luck to all Clemson's teams who will be competing this week.
Go Tigers! That worked. Oh my hat, I forgot. Darn it!